outstanding all year. He's been an incredible captain, an unselfish player, and tonight, as he always is, he was clutch. That's what defines him most to me. Some players are winning players, others are not. Travis clearly is a winning player. Will Davis, I've said a lot about him. He's going to go down as one of the best players ever in our program's history. I don't care what anybody says. Not that anybody I don't think could dispute that. If you look at his accomplishments and now the fact that we've won the Big West Tournament and accomplished something here that no one else has. We didn't get him the ball very well tonight early in the game, but I thought he stayed in the game and really delivered in the second half when we needed him to, as he's done all year. He's a player that I'm really proud of because he's gotten better and better every year. And I think everybody at UCI has seen that. He's one of the most exciting college basketball players this program has seen clearly. So I owe a big debt of gratitude to those two guys because they came here when what we said was just like a dream. And they made it happen. And then Luke Nelson, I gave him a big hug and joked about all the overseas trips that I took and getting to know him. His mom and dad were here tonight. He has endured a lot of adversity this season, but the reason I recruited him was so he'd have nights like tonight and make plays like he did tonight. And the belief I've got in him and all these three guys, they haven't invented anything that can measure how much I believe in their character as basketball players and as people.
We're going to go back here and then we'll go over to Jim.
Hi, Tom Bassett, UC Irvine's questions for Will. It seems this year the team's really taken on your leadership characteristics and the defensive intensity that everyone just seems to follow you on the court. Could you tell me what this year's been like for you, especially now that you and your team accomplished something that's never been done here before?
It's just been a great year overall. It's had its ups and downs, but throughout it we just tried to come together and then bring everything we got. And then I knew that sometimes, like, if one teammate goes down, someone else has to lift them up, and then I would just try to bring energy, and then that's always contagious. So I thought maybe if I brought it, then someone else would bring it when I was down, and vice versa and everything like that.
Joe?
Joseph DiPolito, Honolulu Star Advertiser. Russell, I noticed you and Mamadou hugging at the end of the game. How would you describe the nature of your relationship with him, since he is a sophomore, since he is kind of raw? You were a post player in college. How does all of that fit together?
Boy, that's a good question, I guess, but it's one that's hard to answer. The hug I gave Mamadou was like I gave all my other players. With each player, there's a special story. Just as I talked about the story of Luke and his recruitment and the story of Travis and then Will made us wait months for his decision. I look back on that now and probably worth the wait. With Mamadou, it's the same thing. His story is so incredible. Knowing him when we began to know him, means a lot now for us, and it's difficult to describe all that. We have had great belief in him, in his ability to endure adversity, in his ability to learn English and become eligible and be committed academically to the challenges he would face at UC Irvine. Nobody really knows about that when they watch the games. And so it means a lot to me to see that young man compete and perform and impact our program the way he has, because these guys up here are great. He's great too, and they all have such a unique impact on what we've now done. So I was talking to him a little bit about that. I forgot your question, but I just started talking about Mamadou. There's so much to say about that kid. I'm happy for him. I'm really, really happy for him and every one of the other players individually.
Would any of the players on the dais want to comment on that?
Will, you want to comment on how he's
Just from his first year to this year, he's just grown as an individual. He's taken more time you can see how he's matured over the years. And the one thing that hasn't changed at all is his competitive nature. He's always going so hard after the ball. He always wants to win. And that's just something that he's passed along to all of us.
I mean, yeah, like Will said, I mean, the progress of the last 2 years has been unbelievable. I mean, he makes such a difference maker out there on the court, whether he's scoring or not. I mean, you see guys out there having to throw shots over him, and it just alters every shot out there. So having him on the court is amazing, and then obviously having him as a friend off the court is unbelievable. I mean, super caring guy. He's just great to be around. You gotta love him all of that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about him off the court. It's just so fun to be around, like, all the time. There's never like a dull moment when you're around him. He's just like making jokes, you know, having a great time. And then when it comes to game time, it really switches on. It's like completely really focused. You know, we all can follow that kind of same mentality and stuff on the court.
And one component of your question that is particularly meaningful to me is that I was an emotional big guy. And Mamnu was an emotional big guy. And we get along. Every now and then I see a look in his eye that strikes some fear in me because his competitive fire is so strong. But the kid, the young man, is really special as a competitor. These guys all have seen it. All these guys all.
What does it mean for you guys to have been with him as a
I mean, it's kind of hard to describe the feeling. It's unbelievable. I mean, we knew how hard we've worked over for the last 4 years, and Luke for the last 2 years here. Knowing we're the first team to do it is great. I mean, we came here 2 years ago, finals, and we lost, and we knew what that heartbreak felt like. And knowing the other side of it now, it's a phenomenal feeling. It's great.
I mean, I came here with that kind of my goal. You know, that's something that the coach to me. It's something that, I mean, we were close to last year, my freshman year, we were close to it this year. But that was one of the things that really drew me to come in, is the fact that I could be a part of school history, doing something special here at Irvine that no other team has done here before. And that was something that really was like made me drew me towards Irvine.
Similar thing for me also. When we got here my sophomore year, we just had the mindset that we were going to win every game and win out the championship. And then once we got to the championship, we realized that it wasn't that easy. And then the following year, I feel like that we came with the mindset, same exact mindset. So we won the regular season, and then we ended up losing in the second round. And then this year, it was my senior year, it was my last chance. So I feel like this is the year that we had to make it, like there's no other option. And then so we came out, played our heads out every night, and victorious.
Will, that was what, when you guys picked Irvine, what said to you that this could be possible? What was it about the court?
I mean, we knew it was a fairly new coaching staff, so it was a new culture, and we knew it was someplace that we can kind of start from the ground up and build, and that